When researching a franchise, the process can be very challenging, especially for someone that does not have much experience or opt not to use a franchise consultant. Today, I'm going to talk about the top 3 red flags that someone should always watch for when researching into a franchise. Our first red flag will be a high turnover in their franchise disclosure document. So the franchise disclosure document, it's a document that any franchisor is legally obligated to provide to any potential prospects or any investor. And it's usually a very lengthy file, sometimes well over 250 pages. And they all have kind of the same standard. They all have 23 items. And one of the items, they talk about the turnover. So one of the first things you want to look into that franchise disclosure document is a high turnover. Like there's more people leaving than coming in, or they had like a spike of franchisees joining the system, and then all of a sudden you notice a lot of people leaving the system. So that's usually a big red flag. Something's happening with that brand, something's happening with that system that is making people exit the system in loads. The second red flag is that throughout the process of validating that franchise, the franchisor should allow you to speak with existing franchisees. Now, if you're talking with an emerging brand that have no other existing franchisees, then obviously this wouldn't apply. But most franchises, they have at least 1 or 2 or a handful existing franchisees. So you want to learn at what point you can talk to them. Be very cautious about franchisors that want to ask for like a deposit or hard commitment before you can talk to existing franchisees. So when they do that, make sure that they allow you to speak with any existing franchisee and not only the ones that they handpick. And usually they give those franchisees like a script of what to say or not to say. So you got to be very cautious about that and make sure you can speak with any of the existing franchisees. If you talk with, let's say, 15 or 20 existing franchisees, and they're all telling that the franchisor is not helping them, that the support system is very weak, that is a major red flag. Now, our third red flag is also referring back to the franchise disclosure document. So the item 19 is where franchisors will usually disclose the finances of existing franchisees. So some franchisors, they disclose only the gross revenue, others disclose revenue plus expenses. So there's a lot of flexibility on what the law allows franchisors to disclose. But what you want to really pay attention to is underperforming locations. So if the numbers are not looking good and you have locations that be in business now for a year or 2 or 3 or 4 and they're still losing money, or if that item 19 only disclose the top performing locations and they don't show you the bottom performing locations, that's also a huge red flag and something that you should be cautious. Now, if you're really looking into investing into a franchise, we here at Friendship Consultants, that's all we do. We focus on purpose-driven franchises, and we can really help you validate that process and make sure that you buy into a solid system instead of making a huge financial mistake. Thank you.